Beautiful people. How are y'all doing, man? I hope y'all are well. I hope everything is going good with you. Welcome to another episode of the Bonham Briefing. It is currently January the 21st. It is a Wednesday. It is 10:07 p.m. I just got off the plane. I was in San Diego. I was with Knapsack. Knapsack is an incredible organization. They had record numbers today for their conference. And what happened was they were working on how can we fix special education, y'all. But I had a really good time with everyone there, and I hope all of you are really doing well. I wanted to make this live stream because it was weighing heavy on my heart in a good way. And as you saw, the title of it is called The Biggest Wealth Transfer Ever. You know, the quiet shift of wealth happening in 2026. And I was thinking about this because I just think it's super important. I don't think you have been paying attention to the news and stuff lately. But what's happening is there's been a lot of things that's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition. I'm going to get you to these next points, and it's going to be a really good episode, right? If you are listening to this probably on Thursday morning, I'm going to release it Thursday morning. I'm going live right now. You'll be able to go on YouTube and check out all of the different visuals and things I'm going to put up. But I want to make sure that you get a full breakdown of what's happening and why this is so important in 2026. And y'all know it's real if I am up at 10:08 and I have to teach in the morning, and this is on my heart, and I want to make sure I give it to you. So, hey, tune in. Let's make this happen, and we're going to have a really good time on today. All right. So let's transition and let's get into it. All right. Let's go. All right, crew, chat. I see we got two people here. Y'all, I love it. I love smart and starting off with the small numbers because I think it's extremely important. All right, so we're here to really break down, listen, the quiet shift of wealth that's happening that you don't even recognize, and it's going right under your eyes. All right, it's happening right under your noses. All right, so let me break this game down to you. All right, first off, let's give a round of applause for the two people that are here. All right, look, I'm glad. I see you. I appreciate you. I don't even know who you are, but we are glad that you're working and rocking with me. All right. So listen, let's go ahead and make this happen. All right. Check this out. All right. So last Friday, I like this view better. Okay. Last Friday, after the stock market closed, President Trump actually announced 10% tariffs on 8 European countries. They are in the collective of NATO. NATO is essentially a North Alliance treaty organization. This is a group of countries that say, hey, if anything goes down, we're sticking together. NATO was like the group of best friends. NATO was like the crew that sticks together, the clique at all times. President Trump decided to give out a 10% tariff to them because he wants Greenland. Okay, that's something that they have communicated over and over again. All right. As I told you on the first Bonham briefing last week, some people, there's different viewpoints. Some people like, hey, we should stay moderate. We shouldn't take over another space. Some people said, hey, we should go for Greenland if it gives us a stronger military presence. Some people are saying, hey, y'all are hypocrites. You just said something about Russia going into Ukraine, and now you're going into Venezuela, and now you want Greenland. So there's a lot of different viewpoints. Listen, when this was announced, this is what you need to know. They announced it after the stock market closed on Friday. Stock market was closed on Monday with Martin Luther King. And you know what happened, everybody? This is exactly what happened. Tuesday popped open. The stock market was bloody. People were selling their stocks. The market was down about 2%. People with money and resources did not like this. Okay. Now, all of a sudden today, if you check the stock market, and I am going to go to this for you because I want you to see, if you're tuning in on YouTube, I appreciate you. To the 4 people that are here, you know I rock with you. I want to share with you and show you something really quickly today so you can see what happened when they announced that. All right. I'm going to go to today, and I want to make sure we add this up. Check this out, y'all. All right. You see this piece right here. This is called the S&P 500. All right. I'm making it big for you so you can see it. All right. This is called the S&P 500. Today, the market opens always at 9:30. If you look really closely, they were battling about the tariff news. All of a sudden, right here, you see that big spike? That is when President Trump called off the tariffs. Now, mind you, I want you to know, look at the 5-day. This is when they announced the tariffs, and look at how it jumped. This right here, my beautiful family and friends, you see that little bulge right there? That is called a dip. Okay. In the education inside of the finance market, you want to always hear people talk about, hey, you need to buy the dip, buy the dip. The dip basically means there's a sale. And what caused that sale? The announcement of the tariffs, right? This is where it gets crazy. This administration and others, Democrat, whatever, have been doing these announcements, right, for years and decades. What happens is for long-term people that are invested, it's just an opportunity. It's a little blimp. You won't feel it. But for traders, you either lost a lot of money or you gained a lot of money. All right. This is what I want to talk to all 6 of you about that tuned in today on this Bonner briefing. And to those that's listening on the podcast, it will be released tomorrow morning. You are witnessing right now the biggest wealth transfer that we will probably ever see. When they had the Indian Removal Act and they forced Native Americans to go westward, which is called the Trail of Tears, they gave away so much land, right? People were getting access to land. Land is one of the biggest assets ever. Now in the age of technology with AI, this is the name of the game, right? There's going to be so much changes that take place, and I want y'all to hear my heart, okay? I told them on my stories earlier today, this is the only reason why I'm going live right now at 10:14 at night. In the year of 2026, I said this last year in 2025, you need to own assets. You need to take care of yourself financially, especially in the United States of America, who is a capitalistic society. We operate off of the selling and the buying and the purchasing of goods. So if you do not do that, my friends, okay, if you don't own assets, if you don't understand what the stock market and stuff is, now is the perfect time to do so. All right. I want AI to clip this, but hear me. The middle class disappearing is not just a statement that's made online. All right. The middle class disappearing is a real thing. In the sense of this, as I fix my camera, let me lighten it up for y'all because I'm a little chocolate, right? There we go. So you have the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. The lower class is normally referred to those that are living below the poverty line. You have the middle class that ranges with salary. Then you have the upper class. Some people say the upper class is above $250,000. Here's the thing. On Moreland in Atlanta, there's a Checkers I go to. That Checkers, everyone, does not have a person working the window taking your orders. AI is. AI, there's a million AI robots inside of Amazon, and that's just one company. The jobs that I was going to get leaving college at Elizabeth City State University in 2013, those jobs are now being outsourced to technology, which can move faster, cost less, doesn't call out sick, doesn't have to have health insurance. You have to have insurance for parts, not necessarily health insurance. Because the middle class is starting to take an impact, big hit. If you notice, people can't even afford to buy homes. We have people that are working citizens. They can't afford to buy homes. Let me show y'all this crazy thing because, I make sure I give y'all examples. I want to make sure I type this in for you because I'll need people to understand how the middle class is actually taking an impact and why this is one of the biggest things you will ever see. Okay. I want you to check out this particular article right here, and I'm going to pull it up for you. Check this out. All right. Let me take you to this. Check this out. Look at this article right here. This was published December 11th, 2023. So we know it's still true to this day. There are people that make over $100,000 living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. If you had $100,000, let me know in the chat right now. There's a chat on YouTube. Type it down there because there's 9 people in this bad boy. You know I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I just got off the road, but I wanted to make sure I make this. There are stats that show people that make $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, let's be clear, $100,000 after taxes, those are probably about $70,000. But you want to know why they are living paycheck to paycheck, family? There is something called inflation. The cost of goods go up. Remember when we had a dollar menu with McDonald's? There is no dollar menu anymore, right? Inflation is rising. There are $1 million homes in the world. Atlanta, North Carolina, y'all, they do not like $1 million homes, right? So because inflation is increasing, you need to own assets. What are assets? Assets are things that increase in value over time. Stocks, gold, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, land, real estate, businesses, right? Then you have liabilities, things that cost you money. They don't bring you revenue at that point in time. Clothes, materialistic items. In this time of 2026, my friends, you need to find a way to own assets, all right? So I want to be so transparent with you right now on this Bonner Briefing episode because this is a vulnerable one, all right? I want to make sure I lay out for you the steps to building wealth. And I'm telling you from today forth, I probably won't dive into this topic again because sometimes I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. But then one of my good friends just told me, nah, I need you to talk about this because a lot of people don't know. So I'm going to give you all the gems that I have learned right now really quickly. So get out your notebook if you have it. If you're in the car right now, if you're listening in the bed, get a notebook, pull out to your notes. If you're listening in Thursday morning, look, you rewind this back. All right. I'm going to break this down for you as simple as I know how and to make it super easy. Okay. All right. 2013, when I got married, true story. As a first year husband at 23 years old, I didn't have enough money. Actually, I was 22. I didn't have enough money to pay for the first month of rent. So I had to sell a TV that my parents gave me in college. My parents know about that TV to make the first part of rent. My father taught me every month that a man must not just sit around. You must figure out how to earn money and become great with it. So one of the first things that people don't do when it comes to building wealth and to be able to catch on to this wealth transfer, you need to do a budget. If you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to go wherever your desires and heart is at that month. Okay. If you look at the wealthiest people in the world, they do a budget. If you look at companies in the world that's worth $1 trillion, they do a budget. It's called a quarterly report. If you don't take your money where to go, it's going to be an issue. Here's research behind this. Dave Ramsey, these little plastic credit cards that we have, and Dave Ramsey says that he believes in taking your money out in cash. And your cash will allow you to actually feel your money leaving instead of swiping. Please do a budget. There's a website I use. I will type it in for you right now, just so you know. I've been using it since 2013. My parents and family can tell you I told them about this in 2013. Now, who listen, that's on them, right? There's a website called Every Dollar. All right, Every Dollar. I'm going to pull it up for you really quickly because I want you to see what that looks like. It looks just like this, family. Every Dollar. Boom. There it is. Every Dollar. Okay. You go here and it will tell you, you put in how much money you make for the month, and then you put in everything that cost you money. Okay. And then what happens is you would therefore know where all of your money is going. That's step number 1, family. That's step number 1. Do your budget. You know what step number 2 is going to be? You need to get additional sources of income. Once you get the habit of, I know where my money's going, I know what bills I got to pay, I know what loans I have, family, you need to get additional sources of income. Remember how I just told you in 2013 that I couldn't even afford to make the rent, which was $549 at Cherry Court Apartments in Greenville, North Carolina, right? Because I was about 5 minutes from South Greenville Elementary where I worked at and where Ellen took place at. Not only did I had to sell the TV, you know what I started doing? I became a photographer. If anybody's a real fan of Michael Bonner, and you really know me from back home, you know I used to be a wedding photographer and senior portraits. I used to take what I was doing wedding photos when I was going through my own divorce. I took one of my good friends, Jonathan Jackson, photos to this day. That's my guy. I took his photo as well. I don't know what he was thinking, but I did it, right? Y'all, I did that, and I did the Drew Steele Center. I had 3 jobs during that time and learning how to budget, right? So I had my budget and I had extra sources of income. That's super important, all right? Once you get your budget down pat, it's going to take some months because money is behavior. Once you get your budget down pat, that's what I need you to do. You need to figure out how to earn some extra bread. The extra bread will give you spending power. That's why they say cash is king. Cash, you can make moves with it. Down payment for a crib. You can buy something outright with cash. It's your negotiation power. After that, my friends, you need an emergency fund. Yes, baby. You need an emergency fund. I'm going to type in right now, and I don't want you just to put your high yield, I don't want you just to put your funds inside of a regular bank account. No. Why? Because, my friends, what's going to happen is they give you 0.2% interest on your money. You don't want that. If I were you, I will put my savings into something called a high yield savings account. Okay? Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Please bear with me as I'm learning. There we go, family. Look at this. All right, here we go. Notice how American Express high yield savings account, 3.3%. You have, I don't even want to pronounce that wrong because it's late at night, but you have 3.65%, Citibank 3.75%, Cash App 3.25%, SoFi 4% earning on your money every month versus 0.25%. You should park your money there for emergencies only. Listen, not brunches. Listen, not I'm going to the mall. Listen, not I want drinks. No. We're talking about the biggest wealth transfer right now. You got to lock in, fam. I've been doing this since 2013. This is 2026. It's 13 years in the making here. Okay? You need to get your budget. You need to actually develop additional sources of income. There's different things that you can do. I always tell myself when I was married, y'all, that if anything else failed, I would work at McDonald's because I knew the importance of hustling and having extra income. All right. To this day, for the record, while y'all see me on this live right now and doing this, because I'm about to wrap it up because it's almost 20 minutes, I've always had 4 to 5 jobs. Why? Because I like security. Okay. So once you do that, my friends, we talked about this. Listen, you go and get your budget. Every dollar. I gave you that tool. Then you get additional sources of income. I told you I've had 4 to 5 jobs since 2013. Okay. Then I told you to get you at least 6 months to emergency fund. 3 to 6 months is what standard industry says in the finance realm. You get what makes you comfortable. I know some people that do. Some people, y'all, that have a year to 2 years of savings saved up, meaning their income per month. That's what they have saved up just in case anything goes down. But last but not least, this is when I need you to learn to start investing into stocks. Okay. Start investing to assets. Now, some people say, well, Mr. Bonner, it sounds really difficult. It's not as difficult as you make it seem. And I'm going to help you out with this. Here's a true story. Okay. I'm giving y'all some real stuff, especially those that listen to me listening in the car. And shout out to the 7. Let's give it up for, we had almost 9 people here tonight, y'all. I love this. Come on now. Yeah. I like it, right? Let me tell you why it's important. When I first started speaking, I spoke in front of 25 people. The most I've spoken in front of is 14,000 people. That's why I'm celebrating the 7 inside of the chat, baby. You mean something to me. Give me a high five. Come on. Give it to me. High five right there. Come on. Boom. I appreciate you. So listen, let's get into this. True story. When I signed my Division I basketball scholarship to Winston-Salem State University, it was during the '08 Great Recession. I got a refund check back, about $2,000, all mine, because I was on scholarship. Y'all, my sister Candace came up to me and she would check on me. That's my older sister. I love you, Candace Michelle Bonner. Candace came with me. True story. She drove from Durham and she came to me in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and we went to AT&T on Parkway or Salem. It's Haynes Mall. That's where I was at, Haynes Mall. And y'all, my sister came with me and I bought the first iPhone. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. Hey, I was stunting on them at the calf with the new iPhone, y'all. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had the brand new iPhone. Nobody had the iPhone. I didn't even have service back at home, but I had the new iPhone, right? My sister came. I paid $250 for her new credit line because I ain't had no credit, and I paid $500 for the new iPhone. This is what happened and what taught me the importance of investing into stocks. I can't tell you where their iPhone is at to this day. I didn't even have service going back home. I couldn't talk to no friends back home. I couldn't scroll social media. There was no social media apps during that time. You had to go on mobile Facebook to log in. And this is the crazy thing. This is what I want to let you know. This is what I found out with the investments of stocks. I want to share with you right now so you can see this, okay? If I would have taken that $700, I'll show you. This is called a stock calculator. It's called opportunity cost, what you could have done with your money. If I would have taken, I'm going to zoom in. Look at me getting better with my stuff. If I would have taken $700 and bought Apple stock in 2008 during that time, how much money y'all think that would be right now? How much money y'all think that would be right now? Give me a guess in the chat. Text it to me. How much money do you think it would be right now? Everybody, that amount will be worth, and you about to see it right now, okay? $35,966. Let me take this screen off, and I want to make sure I say this. I was so busy trying to flex with the new iPhone being on the Winston-Salem State basketball team in 2008, and I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about buying stocks. I didn't know about owning companies. If I would have taken that $700 I paid for that new iPhone near Haynes Mall, and I would have bought Apple stock and completely forgot about it. Just like I don't know what the new iPhone is, that old iPhone, the first iPhone I had is at now. If I would have just forgotten about it, y'all, look at this. That stock would be worth today, okay? $35,966 by just letting my money grow with one of the top companies in the world. This, my friends, is what I need you to focus on. This is what I need you to focus on. There are so many different companies and YouTube channels, Earn Your Leisure, Wall Street Trapper, The Compound, that will show you how to invest. Maybe I may do that one day for fun, right? But I'm saying this to you because I need you to lock in for me and know that that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. We are witnessing the biggest wealth transfer in the world. The question is, will you be a part of it? And I'm going to tell this to you, okay? Because it's super important. And I want to say this, and I want to make sure I be honest with you. I don't want to burn anybody out with this topic, but I want to tell you the truth. And while I'm doing this episode, listen to me, family. I came from food stamps. I took food stamps to school, right? I know what an in-window air conditioner looks like. I know what it's like to live in a place with no HVAC system. Okay? I know what a kerosene heater looks like. I know what Spam and potted meat tastes like. And I think it would be such a disservice that in this age of information, I can't look at my nieces and nephews and students 20 years from now and they ask me, well, Mr. Bonner, why didn't you invest? We were in the age of generation. You had Chat GPT, right, Mr. Bonner? You had the internet, right? And you're telling me you couldn't figure out how to invest during one of the most dynamic times when artificial intelligence is coming into fruition with that. So the reason I'm making this episode is because at one point in time, I don't want to be held accountable to the stance of the reason our parents had. Well, no one told us. You're right. My parents grew up through the Jim Crow era. I told them. There's still segregation and gatekeeping to information between the 80s and 90s. So, of course, my parents wouldn't know about the importance of a 401k and et cetera. But we do. So now that you're exposed to this is what I need you to do. Rewatch this episode as many times as you need to. I'm live right now at 10:30 p.m. at night. Knowing I got to teach 6th grade tomorrow morning and talk about the elements of plot, but I could not let this slide, y'all. I need you to, in order to take advantage of this point in time. This is not fugazi. This is not just made up stuff. This is real life. Listen to me. We are witnessing the biggest wealth transfer period how artificial intelligence is creating more productivity, which is generating more money for people. It is not a flex if your closet is worth more than the assets that you own. It is not a flex if you're in the club every weekend partying inside of sections and you have all the bottles coming to you, but you don't. It's no flex. It is no flex if you're on every vacation, but if one emergency takes place, nobody cares anymore. You can't even get yourself out of the emergency. Here are the steps to building wealth. I will say it again. Number one, create a budget. You got to tell your money where to go. A resource for that, everydollar.com. Next thing, get additional sources of income. You can't just lean on one job. One job is too close to poverty in 2026. Anything can go wrong. I've had 4 to 5 jobs since 2013. It is 2026 now. Get multiple streams of income to help you out. Next, you need to get 6 months, 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, 2 months, 1 month, and put it inside of a high yield savings account, not your regular bank account. Your money needs to grow. Last but not least, once you get that done, the last step after taking care of some debt, paying that down, you need to start investing. Collect assets. Collect assets like people are collecting Van Cleef bracelets. Collect assets like some people do at the club when they're doing shots or etc. Collect assets like the designer clothes that are in people's closets. Collect assets like it's Monopoly. Collect assets, everybody, like Pokemon cards. You just need to collect some assets, as many as you can, and then you will be fine, my friends. People can't afford to buy homes right now. Car prices are higher. We had the most layoffs last year since the Great Recession. You have to take care of yourself financially. 3 years from now, I will be 39 years old. I'm going to play this episode back 3 years from now. And we're going to see who's taking advantage of it. And we're going to see who's actually going to prosper from it. I love y'all so much. This is the only reason why I'm up at 10:33 doing this episode. But if you rock with me, that's what I need you to do. Take some action for me. Okay? I appreciate all of you so much for tuning in. We got 9 people tuning in right now into this live stream. What's up, my 9? Look, let me give y'all a round. We had, one time we spiked up to 12. We spiked up to 12. Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up for the 12 and the 9 that's here? All right. Hey, man, I love y'all dearly. Okay. You take care of yourself. Have an incredible night. I'm about to get into the bed. Are y'all doing okay? Let me know at least a yes inside of the chat. You can put an emoji inside of the chat. Who's going to be the first person to put that inside the chat for me tonight? Okay. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. The first person to do that. All right. While we're waiting for that, listen to me. Next week, we'll have the Bonner episodes coming out again. Okay. We'll have even an always anonymous podcast is dropping next week because somebody say stuff. My guy, Jonathan, is in the building. Okay. Jonathan is one of the greatest people ever, right? He's an incredible principal. Please make sure that you let him know that he's amazing. We got come on, Jamie in the building. Queen is here. I like that confidence. Come on now. We got my girl, Miss Portraits Shine. If you need flowers, you need to go to Maddie Classy for sure. We got Tyler here. Come on now. We got Cheetah too. My girl Taryn. We got my girl Taryn. That's why I love her. She gets some Artist Garden soon. So listen, y'all, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all more than you know. I'm just dropping this off to y'all because let me tell you something. I'm going to be very clear. In 3 years, Mr. Bonner going to be on the beach. Living my best life because I bought some assets. And I hope you did the same. All right. Take care of yourselves. I love y'all. I will see y'all next week. And keep being awesome. All right. Don't give up. Stay positive, and everything will be fine. All right. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. We got 15 people watching. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. All right, let me get off. I'll holler at y'all.